Let me tell you, nothing wakes you up quite like the sound of your spouse who happens to run an entire state police force getting reported to 911 for illegally occupying her own house. Yeah, that happened. Picture this. I'm half awake making coffee, sun, just peeking through the pines when my wife's phone lights up. She's brushing her teeth. Still got toothpaste at the corners of her mouth, and there it is. A dispatcher, all business. Ma'am, we've received a report of a woman named Rachel Merritt unlawfully occupying a residence at Lake Pine Estates. Immediate removal requested. Rachel spits into the sink, looks at me with this wild mix of disbelief and amusement, and goes, "Apparently I'm breaking into my own home now." That's when I knew only one person in our whole lakeside community would pull something like this. HOA President Karen, self-appointed Queen of the Pines. And she had no clue the person she was trying to evict before breakfast was literally in charge of the state police. Honestly, you couldn't make this stuff up. But before you think this was all out of nowhere, let me back up a sec. See, Lake Pine Estates didn't just turn into a battleground overnight. Nah, Karen had been stacking up her dry kindling for months, and she finally decided to light the match. We'd bought that cabin last spring right after Rachel got promoted. She'd been running on fumes, working nights, not sleeping, staring at her uniform like it weighed 100 pounds. The lake was supposed to be our escape. Groceries, fishing gear, quiet, no more chaos. We're talking tall pines, cool breezes, dock just for us, not a care in the world. We didn't even get the groceries inside before trouble rolled in. Rachel's unloading, humming to herself, and then we hear it, the crunch of gravel. In slides, this white Lexus, slow and titled. Door swings open, and out comes Karen Perfume that'd drop a moose, sunglasses so big you could land a helicopter on 'em, and a sweater that screams HOA budget surplus. Clipboard in hand like she's about to duel someone. Not a wave, not a nod, just straight to inspecting our property line like we're squatters. Rachel tries being friendly, asks if she needs something. Karen doesn't even look up. We've had unauthorized activity. Need to confirm your status. Are you renters? Rachel wipes her hands on her jeans. No, we own this place. Karen's squint gets so sharp I almost laughed. I don't recognize you. I step up beside Rachel. We were here last spring. I'm Dean. This is my wife, Rachel. Karen puffs up, I'm the HOA president. Like she expects us to kneel. Then comes the real kicker. Did you submit a formal occupancy notice through the community portal? Let me tell you about that portal. That website was built in the Stone Age. The login crashed if you looked at it wrong. Random dates from 2018. Every other page was labeled Draft Copy 3, Final. But Karen talks about it like it's NASA. Rachel keeps it polite. We weren't told owners had to register. Karen clicks her pen like she's about to stab someone. Regardless, I don't see your name on the ownership record. And that's when it all fell into place. The cabin's under my LLC for tax reasons, so only my name is on the title. Not because Rachel isn't my partner, just paperwork. But Karen sees an opening, whips out a Comic Sans warning notice. Vacate until your residency can be verified. Rachel looks at it, shrugs, hands it back. No thanks. I don't take orders from you. Karen is absolutely scandalized. The sun didn't even dim for her. From that moment, she declared war. Next morning, we're cited for natural debris on our yard, 3 pine cones. A note about excessive porch occupancy. Rachel just sitting with coffee. She actually invented that term. The masterpiece came 2 days later, a complaint taped to our mailbox, accusing Rachel of unauthorized cohabitation. Signed, sealed with what I swear was a lipstick print. Rachel reads it aloud, deadpan. The unidentified female on premises must depart within 48 hours. I burst out laughing. Rachel, not so much. She won't stop, she says quietly. She's going to push until she feels powerful. She was right. By the time Karen finally called 911, we weren't even surprised. Annoyed, sure, but not surprised. What we didn't realize sipping coffee in our kitchen is how far Karen would push, or how spectacularly this was going to blow up in her face. Because she wasn't just trying to evict anyone. She was trying to evict Commander Rachel Merritt, head of the entire state police. Woman with a direct line to the governor. Karen had poked a dragon and she had no idea. So the patrol cars roll up, blue lights flickering. Officers step out, slow, cautious, like they're responding to a rabid raccoon, not a break-in. Rachel opens the door. No drama, just calm. "Good morning, gentlemen. Here to remove me from my own cabin." The younger one's brain completely blue screens. "Ma'am, 911 report of a trespass complainant identified you by name." Rachel raises an eyebrow. "And yet here I am in pajamas making breakfast. They asked to come in." Rachel welcomes them like they're there for brunch, not an eviction. They glance around: fishing rods, groceries, nothing suspicious. "The complainant said you refused to vacate." Rachel lets out a sigh. "Officer, my husband owns the cabin via an LLC. My name's not on the deed, but I live here, pay for it, and I didn't break in." The older officer nods. He clearly thinks this is nonsense. "Proof of affiliation." Rachel, cool as you like, pulls up our marriage certificate, LLC listing, even a photo of me unlocking the door. And then the twist officer finally realizes who Rachel is. Commander Merritt. The air changes. Suddenly they're standing at attention. Hats off. The apology train starts rolling. Rachel waves it off. "You're just doing your job, but I want a formal log of every dispatch call to this address from now on." Officers fill out forms apologizing 3 times before leaving. The younger one even offers extra patrols. Rachel declines. "I need documentation, not protection." As they go, I joke, "That went better than expected." Rachel just gives a little smile. Karen thinks this is a power struggle. She doesn't get that she just picked a fight with the law itself. That night we sit on the porch lake, still cicadas humming, but Rachel's staring at the road. "She's coming," she whispers. Sure enough, Karen's Lexus creeps by, eyes sharp as knives, checking if her 911 stunt rattled us. "She's escalating," Rachel says. "She won't stop until something burns." I ask what we do. Rachel's answer, "Let her climb as high as she wants. The fall will be hers," gave me chills hearing that. And oh, did Karen escalate. The next day, the HOA board calls an emergency session. Greg, the treasurer, all nerves. Rachel heads in alone. Inside, Karen's ranting she isn't registered. "We can't allow instability." Greg tries to intervene. There's no legal basis to remove her. She's married to the owner. Rachel calm as a scalpel. "I'm listed as co-exec on the LLC and I run state law enforcement. Unless you want to take this to court, stop pretending this is anything but personal." Karen explodes. "She's mocking our authority." Rachel drops the hammer. "Karen, the only reason this isn't legal yet is because I thought you'd stop before embarrassing yourself. But you kept escalating. You've misused HOA procedures, weaponized legal processes, and targeted a lawfully present resident based on your own bias." The room goes dead silent. The board postpones a vote, too scared to back Karen, too scared to stop her. That night, our insurance calls someone reported us for running an illegal rental. Next day, a zoning inspector wants a septic inspection. Karen's throwing every system at us. But then she crosses the line. We come home from dinner. Our front door's cracked open, a framed photo, face down, Rachel's badge drawer, disturbed. Not a robbery, a message. Next morning, a drone hovers outside our window, red eye blinking. Rachel's unfazed. She's baiting us, hoping we'll snap on camera. Instead, Rachel calmly forwards all the break-in footage to state investigators, then calls in a formal complaint, unauthorized entry, harassment, and misuse of emergency keys. Turns out Karen used a restricted master key reserved for emergencies. That's when Rachel shifts. She's not just playing defense. She lays a trap. When Karen appears this time with a twitchy young lawyer, Rachel dismantles them both. "Stephen, before you go further, I've already filed with state agencies. Your client's facing criminal trespass, unlawful surveillance, and misuse of emergency keys. This property's outside HOA jurisdiction thanks to its LLC status. And unless you've got a judge-signed court order, you're holding stationary with ambition." Stephen nearly faints. Karen doubles down. "Your title's irrelevant. You don't respect our authority." Rachel. Voice cold as the lake in January. "Authority comes from law, Karen, not from clipboards. Now the drone controller, please." Karen, defeated, hands it over. Rachel powers it down like a guillotine. Then a real twist, a judge calls Rachel. Emergency injunction filed by Karen wants you removed for being unstable. Judge laughs it off, tells Rachel he's flagging Karen's actions as emotionally unhinged. Rachel just watches the moon over the lake, says she's cornered now. And cornered people lash out. Next morning, black SUVs roll up. State Ethics and Law Review Division. They're not here for noise complaints. We're investigating community leadership abuse, false filings, and misuse of power. They want interviews, hand Rachel official documents, and schedule a notice for the whole board. Karen wanted escalation. Congratulations. She got the Department of Doom. Within hours, board members are panicking, emails, flying apologies rolling in. By evening, Karen's suspended. For the first time, the air in Lake Pine feels clear. Not peaceful, but clear. Like the forest itself is relieved. But Rachel, she knows it's not over. People like Karen never go quietly, she says, and she's right. The next day's packages start arriving. No return address, just a parade of junk bird feeders, gloves, seeds, each more unsettling than the last. Then one package is filled with fake financial accusations targeting not just us, but Vince, our neighbor. Karen's trying to spread fear, turn people against each other. Rachel calls the cyber crimes unit. Vince, shaking, is just grateful not to be alone. But Rachel knows what's up. Karen's not hiding behind bylaws anymore. She's gone feral. So Rachel calls a meeting. Not an HOA session, just neighbors on the old dock. She tells everything. Break-ins, drones, false claims, the whole mess. This community doesn't need enforcers. It needs guardians, she says. Heads nod. By morning, a petition's out to dissolve the old board. By the end of the week, the vote passes. The new board forms. Rachel refuses any leadership spot. I'm here to prevent, not to rule. For a while, life almost returns to normal. Then one morning, a plain envelope appears, no stamp, just a line I never left. Turns out Karen's tried to start a new HOA in a nearby development under a tweaked name. Rachel doesn't panic. She files an injunction, brings the state's fraud prevention in, and soon Karen's new HOA is under audit. Her filings frozen, her leadership barred. Rachel never gloats. She just nods. The system works if someone makes it. Over time, our neighborhood heals. Kids play, neighbors smile. Even Linda with the binoculars is bird watching, not spying. Rachel quietly rewrites the rules. Real oversight, no more unchecked power term limits, legal penalties for abuse. The trauma lingers, sure, but peace returns. Then months later, another envelope, this time official. Karen banned for life from any community leadership. Rachel reads it, folds it away. How do you feel, I ask. She breathes out. Clean. Like we finally cleared the air. That night we sit on the dock, moonlight on the water stars overhead. Rachel leans into me lighter than she's been in months. She thought she was fighting a rule, she says, but she was fighting consequences. Those don't disappear just because you run. And for the first time since buying this place, I feel it. Safe. At peace. The lake's quiet again, not with tension, but with promise. So what's the takeaway? Power built on fear always collapses under truth. Real strength isn't loud. It's quiet, consistent, relentless in its fairness. If you've ever dealt with an HOA nightmare or a Karen in your life, I want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments. Because justice, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's messy. But man, when it comes, it's worth every second.